Animals are often unpredictable, and in order for us to survive, we must be able to defend ourselves properly in the case of a possible violent encounter. Although many animals might appear to be tame, they can often resort to their wild tendencies. From the real way to defend yourself against man-eating sharks, to learning how to defeat a wild grizzly with your bare hands. Here are 10 tips on how to defend yourself from wild animal attacks. But first, we'd like to give a quick shout out to the Antichrist for leaving us this comment on who he cloned in our video about cloned animals. Hopefully they don't keep his unlimited energy sources suppressed for too much longer. Let us know in the comments section any crazy animal encounters you've had, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 10. Killer bee swarms. Africanized honeybees were basically an experiment that's gone wrong, and now these deadly bees get the nickname of killer bees because that's what they do. An ill-advised hybridization between Western and African bees, which was supposed to yield more honey, went horribly wrong. Swarms of bees escape the experimental facility and gain access to the southern United States. These bees are much more aggressive and are known to follow you for up to a quarter mile if you disturb their nest. They swarm in large numbers and just don't like humans. Disturbing a killer beehive can draw up to 2,000 attacking bees all coming straight for you. So what should you do in the case of disturbing a killer beehive? The first piece of advice we can give you would be to run as fast as possible. Most humans can move much faster than bees can, and if you were able to run a lap in gym class, that would be about the same distance as their attack range. Don't try to swat them, because this will basically only make them angrier, and that's not something you want to do. It's also suggested that you pull your shirt over your face to protect it. While this might expose your body to bee stings, you don't want anything to happen to that moneymaker. Number 9. Avoiding the gators. Spring and summer is gator mating season, and it's during this time of year when they are the most aggressive and can bite harder than a great white shark. It's also the time of year when people want to start enjoying natural bodies of water where gators might be lurking. Fishing and swimming are both fun activities at lakes, but you better watch out because some monsters might be lurking beneath the murky waters. How do you keep yourself from becoming gator bait? There's an estimated 1.4 million gators living in Florida alone, and encounters can be fatal. First rule should be to never try to feed alligators and never try to swim in the same bodies of water with them. This seems like common knowledge, but you'd be surprised. It's also better to run than to hide. Alligators don't typically run fast, but they have been spotted climbing trees pretty well. If the running part didn't work, alligators typically don't want to fight you despite their aggressive appearance. They generally don't want to be grabbed and basically don't like people. Your final tip would be to make as much noise as possible by yelling and trying to scare them off. Follow these tips and you should be able to survive the wilderness or at least the upcoming summer. Number 8. Prepare for mosquitoes. When mankind is in Mother Earth's backyard, she makes the rules, and you better be prepared for what she has in store for you. Once you venture past the cozy confines of civilization, there are several kinds of animals you need to be ready to interact with. Especially in summer months near bodies of water, people will often encounter mosquitoes, which can often carry deadly diseases. If they don't have a disease, they'll certainly at least be able to leave you with an itchy bite that'll make you want to end up scratching yourself non-stop. There are ways to avoid mosquitoes, and one of them includes wearing light colors. Mosquitoes are more active during dusk, and light clothing will confuse them when they're searching for the horizon. Although light colors are good against mosquitoes, bright colors will attract bees and wasps, so choose your colors carefully. Others believe that eating garlic might help you prevent yourself from getting attacked by mosquitoes, but the reason is unclear. Maybe because they're like blood-sucking vampires? Who knows? Number 7. Wildcat attack. While you most likely have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than getting attacked by a tiger, it never hurts to be prepared, right? With lions, you want to make direct eye contact and let them know you're watching them. Lions will prepare for a hunt by making 2 mock charges before a full-on attack. The mock gives you a chance to defend yourself. Throw up your arms and make as much noise as possible. Your courage may be enough to change their minds. Leopards are a little bit different though. You never want to make direct eye contact, stay very still, and they won't participate in mock attacks, so you only get one chance. You also can't outrun a leopard, but you may be able to frighten one with a loud, frightening bellow. Number 6. Shark attacks. Although shark attacks are quite rare, they are extremely devastating to those who are unlucky enough to have a close encounter with one. Sharks generally approach out of curiosity or if he thinks you're a tasty seal. So first off, don't panic too much or he'll think you're an easy meal. They generally aren't fond of the taste of human flesh, but if it does decide to attack you, you'll have a trick up your sleeve. The weakest part of a shark's body is its nose. Your best bet in defending yourself is by giving it a strong blow to the nose. This may cause the shark to swim away in defeat. Keep in mind though that only 4 great white shark attacks happen every year. But could you be next? Number 5. Bear attacks. Bear attacks are also quite rare, but encountering a bear is much more likely than encountering a shark in North America. Most species of bears don't attack humans aggressively, except for a wild grizzly bear, of course. First of all, when you see a bear, don't think for a second that bears can't climb trees. Bears are actually excellent climbers. Don't even think about running either, because they can outrun any human on any given day. Before getting mauled, do your best to stay calm. You're the one who needs to appear threatening here. Raise your arms and make yourself look as big as possible. Then slowly back away. If they still continue to follow you, begin to make as much noise as possible, and this should scare them away. Grizzly attacks also might require that you have some kind of bear mace with you. Number 4. Dog attacks. Dogs are considered to be our best friend, but when we don't treat them like that, or if they're trained to fight, their bites can be some of the most vicious of any animal. According to a statistic, over 50% of dog attacks come from pit bulls, so despite what pit bull owners say, it's important to be prepared for anything to happen. Although we try to domesticate them and tame them, they will sometimes resort back to what they were genetically bred to do. The first thing you should try to do though is avoid any conflict. Trying to just make friends with a pit bull off the street isn't really the greatest idea, and don't let your kids pet one through a gate or something like that. Running can also trigger a chase by a pit bull, who can usually run faster than you can. Avoid direct eye contact, look the other way, and it might lose interest. Your next best option would be to hop on top of a car where the dog wouldn't be able to jump. If there are no cars, your next best option is to cover your face, curl up into a ball, and play dead. Number 3. Gorilla attacks. Your taekwondo lessons won't come in handy when trying to fight against a raging gorilla, so here are some things you gotta know. You'll most likely never be attacked by a gorilla in your life, but just in case one day you were traveling in Africa, it's best to be prepared. People might be surprised that gorillas have actually a very powerful bite despite their vegetarian nature. Their teeth are adapted to chew through hard plants like bamboo, which makes their jaw extremely powerful. If gorillas attack, however, they'll most likely be hurting you with their strong arms, but a bite isn't unheard of. Here are some rules you should always go by when making contact with a gorilla. Never run from one, never show your teeth, and never under any circumstance thump your chest. Seriously. What you should do is slowly crouch and try to make yourself a less threatening target and not screaming. Avoid any eye contact, and without causing too much attention, move away without making too much noise. Number 2. Rattlesnakes. When you're hiking on trail in places where there's known to be rattlesnakes, you gotta learn to be careful, because it's practically impossible to fight off one in mid-stride. Rattlesnakes attack their victims quickly and with a very deadly venom. Since they primarily reside on the ground, it's important to wear thick boots and socks that cover your ankles. Try to never wear flip-flops or go barefoot into the woods. You gotta stick to the trails, don't flip over large rocks, and don't slip your fingers into small crevices that you can't see. If you're gonna take a seat on a rock, be sure to examine it closely, because that might be where they're hiding. According to the Arizona Poison and Drug Information Center, nearly 70% of the snake bites they come across are from humans provoking them. That definitely means you shouldn't try to capture one and keep that as a pet. If you have been bit, try to stay calm and call 911 as soon as possible. Not every snake bite contains venom, but it's important to treat it in the same manner. Despite the popular belief, don't try to suck out the venom. Keep the bite below your heart in order to reduce circulation to it. Don't move that part of your body and get anti-venom as soon as possible. Number 1. Raccoons. Raccoons may look cute and cuddly, but they have some seriously sharp teeth, and they can carry some nasty diseases with them. They won't hesitate to bite if you're getting too close, which can make them some critters to watch out for. Getting bit by one will most likely cause some kind of infection. They aren't venomous by any means, but they do have rabies. Rabies is a disease caused by a virus, and raccoons are known to have this quite commonly. The symptoms of this illness can be quite zombie-like, making you aggressive, salivate excessively, and make you delirious. If you notice any raccoons who seem to be foaming at the mouth, have discharge coming from their eyes, and are wandering around erratically, then stay away. Since they're mainly nocturnal creatures, seeing one during the daytime can mean that it's already too late for them. While they sometimes scavenge for food during this time, it's not something that's very normal. Consider using a cage trap and use marshmallows as bait. Be nice though and let it back into the wild a long distance away from your home. Whoa, now that was a crazy video. Be sure to check out more of our videos right here on American Eye. We got hundreds of them, so watch them.